Hello everyone, I hope everyone has had a tremendous Saturday so far. I know we started off on a very interesting note on your Saturday morning because we did have a few of those strong storms make their way right through central Texas, which did trigger a couple of severe warned storms. Now, we are going to show you a photo that we received earlier today. This was from Burnett County in the community of Tao. That's in northern sections of Burnett County. It's right on Lake Buchanan, right there along the Llano and Burnett County line. And this is from David Alford. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull this up to you right now because look at that. That looks a little bit more like that marble-sized hail. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this full as well to kind of show you guys what we're talking about here. And it looks like the hail size looks to be more of about marble-sized. Looks pretty small in diameter, but there you see those white spots right about there. That's where you have quite a bit of that hail. And not only that, we had a couple of reports right by the airport of some smaller hail, mainly of around pea size. And there it is right there west of the airport, right there on US 183. Let me redo that. I think didn't quite click on the report right. There we go, around a ½ inch in diameter of hail right there. So that's more of about marble-sized hail. This is at around 10:45 this morning. A little bit larger than that about a minute prior to that. So definitely very interesting what we had earlier today. Now, as we zoom this out a little wider, you can see all of the storm system activity now over portions of eastern Mississippi and on into southeastern Louisiana, places like Hammond, getting closer to New Orleans. Those areas are starting to get the worst of the action here. So definitely, if you have interest in Mississippi or even Alabama as well, I would reach out to them, let them know that there is a potential for maybe a few of those stronger storms. And look at all these tornado-warned storms that are being fired up right there off to the east of Jackson, headed towards the Meridian area. So some really strong storms here there. But we're going to bring it back to these storm reports because I know some of y'all have interest in the Houston area, and I know there were several reports of a tornado. There were 4 confirmed tornadoes earlier today in and around the Houston area. We had tornadoes touching down near Cypress. We had a tornado touchdown. We had video coming out of Katy of a tornado that had touched down, but also there is, as you can see right here behind me, along the coastline. That's where we started to see those tornado reports come in as well. And there was one tornado that looked like it was about to make its way right toward Port Arthur, but it kind of missed and then was able to cross into Louisiana eventually. Now, bringing it back to the Lone Star State here, and I'm going to go ahead and put myself in boxes. A lot of that storm activity obviously well off to the east over portions of Mississippi, about to make its way into Alabama, where they have a tornado watch in effect. But as we take a look at our allergy count here, and you're probably feeling the sniffles, I am as well, and that's because cedar is in the high as well as mold being in the high count as well. Nothing else really showed up on our sensor this afternoon, but we're getting close to that time of year. January and February is the peak of cedar season here in central Texas, and it looks like we are well on our way towards that. Now, as we continue to go hour by hour through tonight, though, that northwesterly flow is going to bring in a little more of that cedar. So I expect our cedar count to be even higher as we head near Sunday morning. But check out these lows, getting down to those lower 50s. Some areas may only get down to the mid 50s. Could have some upper 40s in some sections of the hill country as well. And then as we move on through for your Monday or Sunday afternoon, I should say, looking at highs getting to those mid 70s, mainly mid to upper 70s for areas west of I-35. And then you have the double sevens in places like Southern Hill Country. Gillespie County, Johnson City checking in with 77 according to that particular model data as well. But as we look at the next few days, I have a high of 76 tomorrow, but check out Monday's high. That would likely be a daily heat record at Camp Mabry, that 82 on Monday. That is out ahead of this other front that we've got coming in by the time we get into your Tuesday morning's lows getting down to the lower 50s. But look at Tuesday afternoon's high, though, getting to around 66. So a pretty sizable temperature difference between Monday and Tuesday behind that front. And that's because this is one of those so-called Arctic fronts where you have a big cool down behind it and that good northerly push. And not only are we going to get a good cool down hanging into New Year's Eve, but we're also going to get a good influx of that mountain cedar as well, because that mainly comes from that northwesterly direction. And look at this as we start 2025. Cool theme here. The rest of 2024 looks orange because we have above average temperatures. But look as we start 2025, getting down to the upper 50s, lower 60s area wide. And that's something that we're going to be really watching over the next few days, because as you look at these next 7 days, we're not going to have a whole lot in terms of rain chances. I do have a shower chance of 10% for your Friday and Saturday. But one thing I do want to talk about is those temperatures, of course, because we do have those lows getting down to the lower 50s for Tuesday, lower 40s for the first day of 2025. We are going to gradually warm up, though, as we head into Friday and next weekend. I actually do have a high of 70 for Saturday with a mix of sun and clouds. But by and large, that temperature roller coaster is going to have one real big swing and then a gradual uplift. And then I've seen way down the line that we could get a big cold snap coming for some portions of the first full week of January. However, I'm not going to really read into that much, and that's largely due in part because it's well past 7 days out. The models are usually just all over the place at that particular juncture, so we're not going to really say much into that. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back through this a couple of more times to kind of show y'all the situation like what we had. And again, there is that photo from Tao along the Burnett and Llano County line from David Alford. Thank you so much, David, for sending that in to us. And again, we do have the storm reports from near the airport, near the Del Valle area and Coda, of hail getting up to around 0.7 of an inch in diameter, and then about a minute later, around 1/2 inch in diameter. So we've had that. We have just those two reports, as well as the photo sent to us from David Alford. But we've got those tornado reports from earlier today out in the Houston area, especially near Katy, especially near Cypress, where a tornado had a touchdown. We also had a touchdown off to the south and east of Conroe near Roman Forest, just east of the Woodlands near Spring, and then also portions of the coastline near Galveston also had some reports as well. Now, as we zoom this out a little bit, a lot of the storm activity is now well off to our east, as you can see there. Quite a few tornado-warned storms over portions of eastern Mississippi about to head towards Meridian. Nothing is confirmed. There were some confirmed tornadoes in Mississippi earlier this evening as well. But by and large, we really didn't have much to write home about here locally in central Texas, and that's the good news. Now let's talk back locally, and let's talk about our allergy count one more time. We do have cedar in the high count, mold in the high count as well, and we expect that to be even higher because we have that northwesterly flow coming in from the Rocky Mountains, and that's where you get that mountain cedar, in addition to that cool down like what we are seeing for Sunday morning's lows, getting down to the lower 40s in some spots, mainly upper 40s, lower 50s for most of us though. Now Sunday afternoon, getting mid to those mid to upper 70s area wide. I think our warmest spots are going to be northern hill country, I-35 corridor, looking more like 76 for a high. Wouldn't break a daily heat record, but Monday's high, I have 82, so that would come really, really close to breaking that daily heat record. Now we have mid 60s on your Tuesday. That's behind that Arctic front that's going to make its way through. But then look at this for the start of 2025. We're going to be getting down to those upper 50s, lower 60s, so slightly below average. In fact, 62 at Camp Mabry is the average high for this time of year. And as we look at the next 7 days, we are looking at lower 80s for highs on Monday, but then the lows I want to show you over these next few days as well. We have 51 on your Tuesday, and 41 for your low to start 2025. But I think the midnight temperature, we're looking mainly at around maybe upper 40s, lower 50s, give or take at midnight and New Year's Eve as that clock switches to 2025. So we're going to continue to watch and monitor that for you, because I know a lot of y'all are going to have those New Year's Eve plans. And so we are going to be dry. We had our last real storm chance for a little bit earlier this morning. Got some good dousings of rain from it, but we're going to have a nice little dry stretch. We do have a 10% shower chance for Friday and Saturday with a coastal low that could be forming to our south. But by and large, the story over these next 7 days are going to be those temperatures, and especially those record highs that are possible on your Monday. And I'm going to be here all day tomorrow, as I have been all day today, and we're going to have all of the latest on that. So I'll be on tonight at 10 as well as tomorrow morning and again tomorrow evening with all the latest on your forecast as we continue to track the Texas winters that sometimes may not feel like a winter, but then winter could really come with a big punch. So for now, I will see you all on KView News at 10.